Michael from Virtual Journeys. We arrived here at Villa Grazioli outside Rome. It's a beautiful estate, very old, and I just want to tell you a little bit more about it. So let's move in and have a look through the gorgeous setting and the gorgeous room inside the villa, which is now a boutique hotel. So let's go in and learn a little bit more about the rich history this place offers. It's located about 40 minutes drive from Rome, so it's very close by to Rome. Let's have a look. Villa Grazioli is an estate which was established in 1580. It was a cardinal from Rome with the support of one of the popes, Gregory the 12th. And yeah, basically it was intended to be a holiday retreat, weekend retreat for the aristocracy in those days. And it went through a number of stages where a lot of the ceilings and the walls were painted. Throughout the time, the different kind of painters were involved. Different rooms we have here with gorgeous wall and roof ceiling paintings. What's happened over the years though is that it was a bit neglected in the early part in the 20th centuries after the Second World War, and you can see that quite clearly here that the roof paintings are gone. What's happened is that rainwater came through the ceiling and more or less destroyed it. As far as I'm aware, they want to restore those paintings again, which will be a huge job. But let's go a little bit back in history. So they were a number of families after the first cardinal, the number of families involved in the property taken over, and therefore they commissioned a number of painters, some of them quite famous. Therefore there are different styles, so each individual room tells a different kind of a story. Here is another beautiful example of how the paint, basically the water-based paint, has disappeared over time. So yeah, and another interesting story really that property has, in 1944, the German General Kesslinger, he selected Villa Grazioli as his base in 1944. So there's a bit of history in respect of the Second World War. Let's have a quick look outside the window here. This is basically facing towards Rome. They had a wedding last night here, and you still see the tent out there. So yeah, it's used, at the moment we're staying here, but at the moment there's also a corporate event. So it's used for weddings, corporate events, and people like us staying here and enjoying the environment. So let's move into the first floor. I believe people will come down for lunch soon, so let's make the most of this and explore. In 1737, the Occhiali family took over the property, and they commissioned Giovanni Pannini to do the painting. Giovanni Pannini was a famous painter in those days, and this is by far the best paintings I've seen so far in the villa. It's just gorgeous. At the moment, the sun is probably not too good, and the light is therefore not that flash to see it all, but you get the idea. I mean, all these beautiful sculptured paintings around on the wall and ceiling. It's just fascinating. So this is, more than 250 years old. During the wartime, or after the wartime, the villa was also used for local families for accommodation, because what's happened, the Allies bombed the local Vastetti village instead of the villa here, because they thought there would be ammunition stored. So some of these rooms you can still see some left over from the smoke when people occupied those kinds of rooms, and they did their cooking, their heating, and basically one family stayed in one of these rooms. So again, lots of history, and it's just wonderful that the villa has survived and is now used for events